I spent quite a lot of time scrolling through Instagram lately. And believe it or not, this time it actually paid off. I stumbled upon the beautiful character by Erica the Goober and was super excited to learn that she created this character as part of the Draw This in Your Style challenge. You've probably seen many of these already, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a challenge where one artist creates a character, tags it with one of the Draw This in Your Style challenge hashtags, and other artists are challenged to redraw this same character, but in their own styles. It's a super fun community event where you not only get to show off your take on a particular character, but you also get to discover all sorts of variations of styles and ideas from different artists of all skill levels, style preferences, and parts of the world. So if that sounds like fun to you, you should definitely give it a go. And if you haven't seen Erica's art, you should totally check it out because it's full of these heartwarming, fun, beautiful illustrations. And if you're wondering what other digital artists you should follow on Instagram, check out the video linked in the top right corner. So in this video, I want to share with you my take on this character, as well as the digital painting approach that I took for this challenge. For me, it all began by looking for some references on Pinterest. I always think about what can I add to these illustrations to make them more saucy. And also because my style is lost somewhere in between cartoony and realistic, I always use a variety of references to help me position and render certain things more believably. It's a super fun way to combine different things that you like into something completely unique. So I started this illustration by just drawing the basic shapes that are found in the original character, and then I started adjusting it to as how I would draw it if I were to draw this character. And obviously the proportions would be different and, well, everything will be different by the end of it, but it's good, I think, to start with the original proportions and then see how it goes from there. I can say it was super fun to work with this character. It's always really cool because you kind of have to come up with your own idea on top of the original character. So the character is already there. Now you have to come up with your own idea and draw it in your own way. So it's just a fun exercise for anybody who's trying to improve their art and also just have fun because it is a super fun challenge. So I did a basic sketch at the beginning. I kind of rendered it a little bit throughout the way so I can think about the 3D shapes rather than the 2D shapes. And yeah, I was just kind of going for it from this sketching phase. I wanted to figure everything out, have all the shapes there, have all the proportions there before I started putting on any color. So next up, I outlined this character and then filled it with color. This is a usual process for me, the way I work. And if you want to learn from me, you can always check out my Patreon at patreon.com/yourartpath, or you can check out the website learn.yourartpath.com, where you can actually see what the tutorials are about, or time lapses, or all the files you get if you become a patron. But anyway, so I selected this character, filled it in, and now I don't have to worry about leaving the lines. I can just work inside and just work very fast. It just speeds up the process by a lot. And so the first step would be to do my values. So I did my values from darkest to lightest, so I can see exactly where I want the most contrast and how I want everything to look. And then finally, I used gradient maps in Procreate to add some color. It's a really quick fix and helps me get started with the illustration. I also have a video about how I use gradient maps. You can check out it on the top right corner. There's a lot of cool information if you use Procreate. Then it was just a matter of creating a few adjustment layers, for example, overlay, and starting to build those forms. So adding the lights, adding the shadows, building the shapes, building the 3D form. Because when we're drawing, when we're sketching, it's all in 2D, but some artists like to leave it at 2D and that's their style. For me, it is a little bit more complicated because I do love the 3-dimensionality. So I need to figure out where are the lights falling? Where are the shadows falling? How do I make this look three-dimensional so you can almost feel like you can reach with your hand and touch her hair and it would be alive. So that's kind of the goal of the entire process for me. And then the best part, of course, adding some details, adding some highlights and darkest shadows, playing with the color of her eyes and figuring everything out because, you know, this is like the most fun part of the process. It takes the longest, but also it is the most rewarding. While I'm drawing this, I like to listen to some podcasts or different stories and yeah, just kind of like doing two things at the same time. But I think I'm only able to do that because I've drawn already so many times that I don't really have to focus 100% on what I'm doing, even though it is still my main focus. I also find that I usually work mostly with very desaturated colors, but by the end, the actual illustration looks very saturated. That's because I keep building on top of this base that I've created. I keep adding colors, I keep creating overlays and color adjustment layers and just making everything stand out more and more. And it just makes me happy to work this way. You know, it's kind of like building blocks, having layer on top of layer. Sometimes when I start very saturated right away, I don't like how the illustration works out. But in this way, I can add the saturation and the bright colors right where I need them to be, right at the final focus. So this illustration took me 2 days. This is the end of the first day. And then on the second day, I kind of forgot to turn on the screen recording. So the video that you're seeing right now is actually straight from Procreate, which is so amazing because even if you forget to record, it does that automatically for you. So right now you see the time-lapse from Procreate that I was able to export. And this is me working on this illustration on the second day. I've made quite a few changes, a lot of adjustments. I kept trying to figure out what to put in the snow globe, but I'm happy with the final result and how it turned out and with the snowman and with the colors and everything. And then the final step for me was actually to take that final illustration and then open it on my laptop, as I believe the colors are a little bit more accurate on the laptop rather than on the iPad, which is a little bit upsetting, but it's okay. I've learned to work with that. And I just did some adjustments using Camera Raw filter in Photoshop. And yeah, that was the whole process. So this is my variation, my stylization of this character by Erica. I hope you enjoyed this time-lapse. Do take part in the challenge. Check out my Instagram at anasock_art. And yeah, let's just create some awesome art together. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please leave thumbs up, comment down below if you took any challenges, if you think I should take part in any challenges, and also subscribe to this channel for more content. Your support means so much to me. I'm just starting on this YouTube journey and I'd love to build a community around it. Thanks again for watching and stay creative. See you next time. Bye.